Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Purpose Driven Life Skills. And tonight we are going to be discussing our Kingdom Legacy Estate Planning Framework. So I know you're probably wondering what exactly that is and why is that important. So, first, let me introduce myself. My name is Tamar Bibbs. I am the owner of Tamarisk Financial Services, and we are a kingdom wealth building financial advisors who really focus on the importance of planning your estate. But we don't just focus on planning your estate, we focus on planning your legacy. Okay. And so when we talk about building a secure financial future, there are 7 key areas that we focus on when we're doing that. And first is financial literacy, where we really want our clients to understand money, how it works, and how to make it work for you. Next, we focus on comprehensive insurance. And what that is life, health insurance, auto, anything that you can insure, including yourself, because we understand that protecting your health, your income, and your loved ones is the foundation of stability. Then comes tax planning, where we help to make sure more of what you earn, you get to keep it. Okay. And then we can help to also help you avoid unnecessary liabilities. We also emphasize retirement and long-term planning so that you can live comfortable later in life without any financial stress. We also focus on estate planning, which helps to ensure your assets are transferred smoothly, protecting your legacy and your family. We also discuss investment planning, which is about growing your wealth strategically while managing risk. And then finally, we bring it all together with our peace and protection strategy implementation, where we put together a customized plan and we put that into action so you can live with confidence about the choices that you're making, not just for yourself, but also for your heirs. So let's talk about our Kingdom Legacy Estate Planning, the framework that we use and why that's important. So, the purpose of our framework is really to guide our clients in creating a legally sound, values driven estate plan that protects their assets, prepares their heirs, it minimizes conflict, and it helps to preserve generational legacy. So, during your initial discovery call, we're going to first determine your readiness to see if you are a good fit, to see the complexity of your estate, and to determine whether or not you are ready to move forward with the estate planning process. And we're going to do that by identifying if there's any recent life events that you've encountered, whether that be marriage, divorce, if you've recently had any children, if you are ill or if you just recovered from an illness, and if you are close to retirement. Then we're also going to confirm your asset types, whether it be through real estate, insurance, retirement accounts, or businesses. And then we're going to assess your urgency and discuss making a timeline, a decision-making timeline. We're going to discuss that. And then we're going to determine how motivated you are in planning your legacy, right? If you're ready for family protection, if you want to reduce your taxes, if you want to have a legacy, and then your wanting and your willingness for stewardship. Okay, because we base all of this off of your ability to be able to manage the resources and why that's important to you. Okay, so we'll do a client intake questionnaire, we'll do your asset snapshot, and then we'll also do a readiness score, which really determines whether or not you're ready or if you just need a little bit more education about why this is important. One of the things that we pride ourselves in is client education and expectations, because we really want to shift the mindset from documents to legacy. And so during our process, we explain the difference between estate planning versus legacy planning. We help to clarify the client's responsibilities and doing that through communication, updates, beneficiary education, and anything else that the client is wanting assistance in during this process. And then we set expectations on a timeline. We set expectations on cost, and we also set expectations on the clients and our agency's involvement in this process. One of the things that we know is that an estate plan manages your assets, but a legacy plan prepares the people. And so we really want the clients that we work with to be prepared in planning their legacy. So, one of the things that we always discuss with our clients is their vision, right? We want to know what your vision is as it relates to how you want to pass on and what you want to pass on beyond money. So, when we sit down and talk with you, we're going to help facilitate discussions on family values and why that's important. We're going to talk about faith or any guiding principles that you want to pass on or any lessons that you want to pass on to your heirs. And then we're going to identify if there's any current fears that you have, whether you feel someone is going to have an attitude of entitlement, or if there's going to be conflict or mismanagement of these resources that you're going to pass on. We also will look at an heirs readiness assessment. Okay. And what that is we help you to evaluate the beneficiary's preparedness to be able to receive this legacy. And we do that by assessing your heirs' financial literacy, whether they are mature and responsible, whether they can communicate. And we also identify any risk factors such as addiction, debt, conflict, and special needs. So we sat down with you to see if the people that you're wanting to leave your legacy to are able to be resourceful in managing it. And then we also do our asset and beneficiary ownership review. And what that is we ensure that all of your assets are properly titled and aligned. So we do that by helping you to take inventory of all of your assets. And then we review ownership structures, whether it's an individual, joint, a trust, or LLC. And then we identify if there's any misalignments that bypass the estate plan. Okay. And then we do a beneficiary review and coordination where we help to prevent conflicts and unintended distributions. And we do that by helping you to review your beneficiaries on life insurance, your retirement accounts, if you have any annuities, and help to align those beneficiary designations with your estate documents. Okay. Now, part of our strategy design is to make sure that in your estate planning selection, you choose the correct planning structure for your estate. And we want you to also determine what are the tools that are going to be most appropriate for your situation and your circumstances. So whether it is a will that you're looking for, whether it's of a revocable trust, whether it's a irrevocable trust, if you're looking for guardianship provisions, or if you need a special needs trust, these are all things that we can help you with, even down to pet trust. Okay. So when we talk about legacy protection tools, we are really talking about protecting your heirs from poor decisions and external threats. And so when we structure your distributions, we're going to look at doing staggered payouts, having a trustee oversight, which means that someone who can make sure that the trust is being managed like it's supposed to be. And then also incentive provisions. And then you can also coordinate with your insurance for liquidity and equalization. Now, one of the things that I love doing with my clients is having a family legacy meeting. Now, this is an optional thing, but it is highly recommended. Why? Because we want to reduce future conflict through transparency. Okay. I know many of you have gone to funerals and or maybe attended a reading of the will, and you find out that the person who was selected to be the executor of your estate, you may not like that person, and or you know that there can be potential conflict in how the estate is going to be managed. Well, we can assist in facilitating family discussions, or we can help to provide guidance for client-led meetings. We also can explain your intentions without disclosing the exact dollar amounts, and we can clarify roles that you establish, such as executors, trustees, and guardians of your estate. And that is so important because you want to take out the ability for people to not know what to expect, and to help answer any questions that they may have. And then lastly, we set up your document signing and also discuss funding your trust, where we ensure that the plan actually works. And what this is we help you in executing all those legal documents. We're going to discuss how to fund your trust properly, and then we're going to update any titles and beneficiary designations throughout your documents. So whether that be insurance, properties, um, retirement accounts, anything that has a beneficiary designation, we help you in getting that done. We help direct you in getting that done. We don't do it for you. We help direct you to get that done. And then when it comes to insurance and your financial integration, if you do not have enough insurance to cover gaps, we can address gaps in coverage. Okay. We are licensed life and health agents. And so that is one of the things that we can do as financial advisors. We can address any gaps in coverage. We can confirm life insurance and whether or not it aligns with your estate goals to ensure liquidity, tax efficiency, and continuity. And then we can also coordinate, if you have a financial advisor, we can coordinate with them, with CPAs and other insurance agents as well. And so our ultimate goal with our Kingdom Legacy estate planning framework is to really make sure that the plan is current and it's effective and it works for you. And so we also set up annual and biannual reviews of your estate plan. We update it for any life events such as, marriage, divorce, if there's any law changes, or if there's any asset changes. And then we can also reassess your heirs' readiness. So when it comes to legacy planning, one of the things that we want to do is make sure that it ensures long-term generational impact. And we encourage you to have regular family communication. We encourage you to update your legacy letters or your ethical wills. And we also reinforce a stewardship mindset as it relates to your Kingdom Legacy plan. Okay. So our goal with our framework is to have a reduction in the probate exposure process, client satisfaction, and referrals, obviously, and then to reduce family conflict when it comes to estate planning. So thank you all for listening to how we help to protect your assets. One of our core principles in our legacy model, in our Kingdom Legacy model, is money without preparation creates problems. And legacy planning prepares people, not just portfolios. So thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions on how to set up your estate, if you have any questions on insurance or any other services that we provide, be sure to go to our website at www.tamarisk.life and schedule a free complimentary consultation. It doesn't cost you anything, but we want to make sure that you know how to protect your assets And we are excited to help you in your kingdom legacy estate planning process. Thank you so much for joining us and be blessed.